All right, welcome back to Pushing the Pile on Radio Row. And another friend has joined us, friend of the program, Katie Mox, absolute all-star, my Tops teammate. And we got Pete Prisco up here. We're going to talk about some best bets and some picks and props for this game. We're going to be starting with the official Super Bowl against the spread pick. So, Katie, who do you have in this one?
Well, you know, as on Tops, but us being teammates, I was beating the drum for Bill Allen and the Bulls, and the Bills. I really thought they were going to be here, but I'm not doing it this time. I'm going with your Kansas City Chiefs. Yep. I'm going to lay the 1.5 with them on this one. The outright winner has won an 87%. They have covered the spread. And when we look at someone like Vic Fangio, I have a ton of respect for him, but he is 0-8 against Patrick Mahomes. Win against him 6 times with the Broncos, 2 times with the Dolphins. I think that's going to happen again. I'll lay the 1.5 with the Chiefs.
Pete?
I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm not picking against Patrick Mahomes. Not in these big games. He's so good bringing his team from behind in these situations. He's also undefeated in the Dome. And that's incredible to me that he's never lost a game inside a Dome. I don't think he's going to lose this one. I'll take the Chiefs minus the point.
Really not smart to pick against Patrick Mahomes. We've learned that. We've all been bitten by that at one time or another. Not me, though. I never pick against Patrick Mahomes. But the reason I am going to be picking the Kansas City Chiefs is because of their discipline, because of the fact that they have so many coaches on that staff who preach discipline and the importance of every moment, the biggest moments. And when things go awry, these guys stay focused, particularly that offensive line. They find a way to win ball games. I'm going to be going Chiefs minus 1.5. Can't wait to see this one on Sunday. So the next one, we're going to go official Super Bowl total picks. Katie, what do you think the total is going to be in this one?
So the line kind of jumps around, right? It's 48.5. Some places it's gone up to like 49 or 49.5. I like the over in this one either way. Now, the public does love to bet for the points. And normally I don't like to go with what the public likes. 64% of the handle right now on the over. But if we look at these last 2 Super Bowls where the Chiefs have won, which we all think is going to happen, then I'm going to go the over on this one. I don't think it's quite as high scoring as the last one, but I think it is going to be close to that. One thing I will say is if you did want to bet on the Eagles in this game, the first half, maybe laying that 1.5 with them in the first half is the way to go. Because as you know, Kyle, we have seen them trail in the first half, losing by 10 points going into the second half, which is where Patrick Mahomes, I don't know what happens to him. You sprinkle that little fairy dust on him and he goes crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the over as well. I think, again, I go back to the turf. It's going to be a fast track. It's going to be a lot of points. I think Patrick Mahomes has been really good. He averages over 300 yards passing inside a Dome. I think he's going to have success. But I also think the Eagles are going to move the football too, so I'm going to go with the over as well.
You know what? The over is a good spot, but we just had Jonathan Jones on talking about how impressive the Eagles have been on turf defensively. But on the other side of the coin, Patrick Mahomes gets even more explosive in that offense when they're on turf. So what I did, I added up what I thought the score was going to be, and I think that's how you find out the total. Yep. It is over 48.5. Okay?
All right.
52 points is what I think is going to be on there. Okay, we're moving on to our official Super Bowl MVP pick. Katie, I'll let you kick this thing off. Who's going to win the MVP?
Well, it's got to be Patrick Mahomes, right, guys? We just talked about this. We think that the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. He has won the MVP award in all 3 wins in the Super Bowl, including against Jalen Hurts the last time when arguably Jalen Hurts had the better game, but it still went to Patrick Mahomes. So you got to go chalk on this one at plus 120. But I will say, if you like the Chiefs to win and you want to take the money line, that's at minus 124. You get better value on betting Patrick Mahomes to win MVP than laying on the money line at plus 120.
I love that.
I'm going with Patrick Mahomes as the MVP as well. But if you're looking to sprinkle a little bit somewhere, Chris Jones plus 6,000, the defensive player. If he has a couple sacks, they stop Barkley, sack, fumble, turnover, big play. I think he has a chance plus 6,000.
Hey, look, obviously I could go out here and pick Patrick Mahomes or sprinkle in some Travis Kelce, but I think if I'm going to go with a dark horse, I'll go Leo Chenal, where they're going to be in some base. You're going to have opportunities for mano-a-mano with Saquon Barkley and Leo, but also Jalen Hurts looking underneath that third level of the defense. That's where Leo and those linebackers are going to be roaming. I could see maybe a couple big plays from the second level of that defense.
By the way, I don't think Leo Chenal has been talked as much
at all.
No. This week around here, you go on radio shows, everybody's talking about Leo Chenal.
Hey, beast. Well, they're going to be in base. They're going to have to load the box against this
He barely even played against Buffalo, but he's going to be.
There's a werewolf that resides in the backfield for the Philadelphia Eagles by the name of Saquon Barkley, and you got to go get a witcher when you got a werewolf. And the way they talk about Leo in that locker room, he's like pocket Hercules. There's nothing he can't do. They love him. Okay, so you gave Patrick Mahomes. What's your sleeper pick for MVP? If it's not Patrick, Patrick, who could you see it being?
I don't see it being a sleeper because it's chalky as well, but I do think Saquon Barkley, if it is the Eagles that win this game, which of course I'm not leaning on that, but I think it has to go to Saquon Barkley. This offense has run through him the entire time. So if it's the Eagles, I think it goes to Saquon, but if it's the Chiefs, I think it's Patrick Mahomes.
See, I think if the Eagles win, it's got to be Jalen Hurts, because what do they do to Saquon when they get inside of scoring range? They say, you just sit back there and hang out. We're going to run the tush push.
Yeah, but if he breaks
and plus, if he goes for 220 and he doesn't score a touchdown, he's still going to win the MVP if they win.
That's true.
Okay, first touchdown scorer pick. Can we get one from you, Katie?
Well, here's where I do like Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen Hurts. He's at 7-1 right now for a touchdown. This one's always a little interesting, right? Because you got to see who wins the coin toss. We do know that both of these teams usually defer, but the Eagles did score on their first possession in all 3 playoff games this season. And let's not forget, in Super Bowl 57, Jalen Hurts found pay dirt 3 times with his legs. So if they drive this down the field, maybe Saquon does it, like you just said, Pete. They get towards the goal line. They're going for the tush push. It's going to be Jalen Hurts.
I'm going to go with Xavier Worthy for the first touchdown. He's also going to score the last and winning touchdown.
That.
He's going to get 2. So plus 950, you get good odds on that. I think he's going to be big in this game. I really do.
I wish we could pick the over-under on trick plays, because I know Andy Reid has so many of those in his back pocket, and I could totally see Xavier Worthy being the recipient of one of those explosive trick plays. Okay, guys, we've been asking everybody all week about Travis Kelce, and I'm not asking you about retirement, Travis Kelce. Does Travis Kelce propose if they win the Super Bowl?
I don't think so. I don't think he wants to make this about him and about Taylor Swift. I think they win the Super Bowl. Maybe he retires or not. I wouldn't be surprised if a proposal comes a little bit later, but I don't think he wants to make this three-peat about him, because it will overshadow it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with everything being so public in Travis and Taylor's life, I think that could be the one thing that they hold close to the chest, you know, and maybe they do it on another continent or something. Yeah, I guess she's okay. She's a singer, upstart singer.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
You know, you are a Swiftie, aren't you?
No. But no, I actually sold my tickets.
You saw her in concert, though.
Yeah, I did. I'm a massive fan of Taylor Swift. Brought
she's
my wife
talented.
Kate down there to the Hard Rock
so
to watch
talented.
her. The gal went for 5 hours straight without taking a breath.
Amazing.
She had about 42 wardrobe changes. The energy never dropped. I can see why a guy like Travis Kelce is so damn good in the playoffs, because he's got to match that kind of energy from Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Love Taylor Swift here.
I do too.
We're saying they're not going to do the proposal.
I just don't think he's going to want to overshadow the Chiefs three-peat. Nope. If I were his teammates, I'd be like, what are you doing?
Right.
We're going to move on to prop bets, what our favorite prop bets are for this game. I've got a couple written down. Katie, I know that you're an all-star when it comes to prop bets.
Yeah.
What do you have?
So one prop that I really like, that I feel like has a lot of value, is Pacheco over 1.5 receptions. You can find this at plus 183. Fellas, not only did he have 2 receptions in the AFC Championship game, but one thing I have to give credit to when we're talking about this Philadelphia Eagles defense, if they play their game, they're going to make it really tough on Patrick Mahomes to throw those deep balls, to have those explosive plays. I see more of checkdowns, a lot of quick checkdowns, a lot of shovel passes, and that's where Pacheco, I think, comes alive here.
Down.
A Pacheco down.
Yeah.
Plus 183 just for 2.
I love that.
I love it.
I'm going to go anytime touchdown for Worthy. Like I said, he's going to score 2. You can cash in, get him anytime, and
first and last.
Yeah, and if you really want to cash in, you get both of them.
Yeah.
You get him to score 2 touchdowns. I bet that pays a pretty penny.
You know, this is very telling about who I was as a student, but I answered this question wrong because I named 3. I'm going to give you Mahomes over 28.5 rushing yards. We know that the interior part of that offensive line is going to have their hands full.
You love that one.
Milton Williams, Jalen Carter. Well, Patrick is as good as anybody at navigating those rapids in the pocket. He's going to do a great job. And with Vic Fangio's zone defense back there, bend but don't break, they're going to try to keep it in front of him. It's going to provide some lanes for Patrick to rush the football. I'm also going Patrick Mahomes, anytime touchdown. We saw them go explode on the goal line out of the huddle. Everybody thinks it's going to be an inside run or quarterback sneak, which the Chiefs don't do. And it is a sneak. Outside the tackle box, Patrick Mahomes, he can either run it or throw it with that triple option look. I love that. And the other one, Jalen Hurts, anytime touchdown. They've been taking the ball out of Saquon Barkley's hands all year long in the low red area. I think that's going to be a home run.
I got one more prop for you then, if we've got some more time. I like Dallas Goedert over 4.5 receptions. He's had at least 4 receptions in 7 straight games. He leads the team right now in targets. Well, he's tied with A.J. Brown, but I'm sure you know this, Kyle. McDuffie's going to be all over Brown in this game, which makes me like Goddard a little bit more here. We've seen some line movement in his yards, open up at 46, gone up to 43, but his reception line has stayed the same at 4.5. So some sneaky value in this one, and as we know, he was heavily involved in the last Super Bowl. 7 targets, 6 receptions, and 60 yards.
Katie, I think you saved your most interesting one for last. I think you got one more, don't you?
I do. I've got Saquon Barkley. I know. I got Saquon Barkley over on his longest rush. I don't know if you guys agree with this or not. Now, this is tough, right? Because the Chiefs have been known to really limit explosive plays from running backs. However, no one has been able to stop Saquon Barkley to this point. I think he's good for at least one of these. Now, he did suffer that calf injury in the NFC Championship game, which limited on his carries and his yards, but not on his longest rush. In fact, over the last 10 games, he's averaging a longest rush of 42 yards for a single one in a game. He's gone over 24 or more in 10 of 18 games. He's good for at least one breakaway.
Well, that's he is, but I think they're going to do a great job on him.
Yeah.
I really
do.
They
could do a great job against him.
And
as an offensive lineman, I'll tell you, I could block a guy 68 times if there's those 2 plays that he hits the quarterback, and that's all we remember. So if he does break a 40-yard run, that's the only highlight we're going to see. But Spags, that defense, I think it's 17 games in a row without a 100-yard rusher.
Well, so here's the thing. So lines, I think 114 wasn't 17. It's gone back and forth a little bit. You and I were having a conversation before the show. You don't think he gets 100 yards in this game?
I think they're going to do a great job on him. I'm leaning the other way, that he doesn't get 100 yards.
Not even just, okay, what about one explosive run?
Now, if he has 35 carries, he might get 100 yards. So I say the flow of the game will change.
Which team's going to score first? You already said it's going to be Xavier Worthy, and you think it's going to be...
Well, I think it's whoever wins the coin toss because they're going to defer. But if it is the Eagles, then I like the value on Jalen Hurts at 7-1.
Heads or tails?
They say tails never fails, but that's actually not true. It's about 50-50. I would rather go with whoever wins the coin toss wins the game. So give me the Chiefs and the Chiefs.
Tails.
I love that. Yeah, tails. You know, I'll call both. Tails, heads. Tails, heads.